Alright guys, it is July. That means a lot of games have released this year, and I've rounded up 10 of the best of them. And do keep in mind, this is all my opinion. Let's get started with number 10, Elden Ring. I've heard of it, you've heard of it, your mom's also heard of it. Elden Ring is one of the most played games of 2022, and rightfully so. It's the largest of the Souls games made by From Software. It's action adventure RPGs, a brutal open world challenges, and for a lot of gamers, it's one of the more fun games. For many people, it's the gateway to From Software games. Not just through the sales and hype, but the game itself is just really fun. There's the traditional From Software design, such as ridiculously detailed bosses, beautiful art, but there's also the feeling of an actually filled open world. This game blew me away when I first played it, and I'm sure it'll do the same for you. At number 9, we have Dying Light. There's cool parkour and brutally killing zombies. That's pretty much the premise of this game. Slash your way through the zombie-infested buildings and run around the intricately designed cities. The free running is cool and the traps are nice, but I personally love the combat where there are so many options. Some people say it's not as good as the original Dying Light, but it's still a game worth playing. The story is deep, and it's a great game in and of itself. It's not very challenging, and the leveling system can get annoying at times. The stealth is simple and satisfying, the hits are impactful, there is dismemberment, and the free running feels fast. And there are a lot of things to keep you busy, lots of side quests, activities, and other random things. Not all of them are pointless and boring. There are even some memorable side quests. It's all set in a well-designed world. At number 8, there's Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to Zero Dawn. It's just a better Horizon Zero Dawn. There are way better cities, characters, cultures, and especially machines. The machines in the first game were really well crafted, but these robots really take it to the next level. The side quests aren't all fetch quests, though there are a few. The world itself is really detailed and just beautiful. This game is just a really well made open world game, yet most of it is really interesting and well made. The puzzles were nice, and they're just there. No need to do them if you wanted only the story, but they're nice bonuses. Aloy's adventure gets really crazy. It's different, but from head to toe, the gameplay is really enjoyable and satisfying. It's insanely gorgeous. You only need to see a few seconds of it to understand. The detail, environment, and everything is just fantastic. Tokyo should be a bustling district full of life and extremely packed. Take the opposite of that, and you have Ghostwire Tokyo. It's reminiscing of the Upside Down from Stranger Things. Maybe Tango and Bethesda got spoilers. All jokes aside, the game is stunning. The visuals are really nice. It really does look like a semi-futuristic Tokyo. The game isn't really scary, but it's just so satisfying to launch your magic attacks at the ghosts. The premise is that Tokyo has been overrun by this one big bad dude who made ghosts or demons take over Tokyo. You have an arsenal consisting of magic attacks, and boy does it make you feel powerful. The story is pretty well made, and the character design is also pretty nice. There are some intense moments, though the real charm of the game is seeing the world crafted by Tango and the demons haunting it. It's so immersive and delivers the feeling of being alone pretty well. It's a really good experience, especially if you want a game that makes you feel powerful, but also humbles you at times. Sniper Elite 5. It's a classic. Any Nazi with nuts should, and will fear you. That's not all Sniper Elite 5 brings to the table though. It's really a game that appeals more to people than just sadists. The game's set in 1944 France. The large-scale stealth mixed with the sandbox elements gives the game a touch that really isn't found in many other titles. The multiplayer in this game is also nice. It's a feature a lot of fans have wanted, and I always love multiplayer in games. There are other small features such as gun customization, but it's not too great. The story is forgettable. I even forgot the name of the main character. The missions are heavily recycled, though the core gameplay makes up for a lot of it. If you want a game where you're scrotum sniping sniper, Sniper Elite 5 is probably the best and only game where you'll get that feeling. At number 5, there's LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Now this game isn't the stereotypical LEGO game. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. The combat is smooth, and there's actually mechanics, instead of the normal LEGO games where there's just one attack button. The LEGO Star Wars games have always been really well made games. Of course, there's also the memes, which everyone loves. This game is really a commemoration of the older games. It's really well made and takes the greatness of the older games and really puts it on show. There are full adventures for each movie pretty much, and the main moments from each of the movies really shine here. There are a lot of explorable and open places, well-designed worlds, vehicles, weapons, lots of characters to play as, and a plethora of unlockables. It's a great grindy game for completionists, but for regular gamers, the game itself is great. There's also a lot of charm. For most people who just want to see their favorite Star Wars movies recreated in the LEGO format, it's just great. The gameplay is also great. The shooting, combat, dogfighting, they've redone everything. The graphics are also pretty nice. It's great for everyone and you should really see it for yourself. At number 4, there's the Quarry. This one was really exciting to see. It's made by Supermassive Games, the makers of Dark Pictures Anthologies, and a game I've heard a lot about, Until Dawn. It's just like Until Dawn, but it really embraces the camp humor, the old horror style, and the soap opera type drama. But the humor and style give it a really unique and cool touch. That doesn't mean it's not scary. There's still a few scares and there's definitely some gore, but this game is different to other games in this genre, as instead of relying on quick time events, it leans more on moment-to-moment decisions in the dialogue. It's definitely a slow-paced game, but the horror and story give it a real immersive feeling that you just don't get out of many games. Your choices have a real impact on the world and story. There's a lot of different endings and outcomes based on your choices. Pokemon Legends Arceus is one of the better Pokemon games. I really couldn't play Sword and Shield no matter how hard I tried, because the games really gave off the made for a 5-year-old vibe. Arceus was what a lot of people, me included, hoped for. It set out a big open world with the ability to just wander around and encounter Pokemon. Sneaking up behind the wild Pokemon, throwing your Pokeball in real time, battling in real time, all that nice stuff. This mostly paid off, and although the world itself and story were a bit lackluster, the core gameplay is really good. Nintendo isn't the most well known for taking good ideas and making them better, though maybe the Pokemon team can follow up on Arceus well enough. This foundation for Pokemon games is really cool, and I'm really excited to see where it'll go in the future. At number 2, there's Sifu. It's a really nice indie game made by Slowclap. It's a simple 3D arcade brawler, but it's really challenging. It takes real determination to finish this game, but it's a satisfying experience. Finally, memorizing the enemy's attack patterns feels gloriously accomplishing. Practicing one level over and over again without taking damage because you get older every time you die, and there are some consequences to that. At some point, you'll get too old and it's game over. This gameplay loop feels addicting, yet really satisfying. It's a really well-made brawler. The punching, kicking, combos, blocking, parrying, dodging, it's all fluent and brutal. You really feel good after getting good at the game. It's what a lot of people wanted after seeing the trailers, and to be honest, Slowclap really hit the bullseye. At number 1, we have Stray. It's a recent release about a cute little cat trying to find its way out of a deserted cyber city. It's a slower paced game with not many moments where things get really intense, but the story is interesting and the characters are really charming. They really delivered on having a game where you're just a cat. That's really all Stray is. You do cat things, and they're capable of the things cats are capable of. At least there isn't fall damage. There's no grind, no XP system. It's just a game where you can relax and enjoy the world made by Blue 12 Studio.